Hello, I'm CerberusDarkone, and these are my Switch 2 Direct views, taken from a recent What's on eShop video. Yeah, magnets, bigger screen, 4K, HDR, 120 frames, blah blah blah. When is it out? The 5th of June! Wow, that's actually a lot closer than I thought. I was guessing September, but June, 2 months. It comes with 256 gigabytes of storage, which is a lot more than Nintendo usually gives us. But if games are going to come in 4K now, it probably won't last long. Of course, there's a new Pro controller with a few new resignable buttons. Otherwise, it's pretty much the same. We thought they were going to give us an Astrobot style tie-in game in the Switch 2 Welcome Tour, but it looks more like a manual you have to pay for. Do you remember when ARMS launched to show us how to use Joy-Cons? We need something like that, but for double mouse controls. Okay, maybe not. This game is gonna tank, like the tank controls. It looks dull. I guess using a Joy-Con for each hand isn't bad. The throwing and the high fives are fun, but do you really want to be wheeling everywhere? The curious C button? What was it for? Control? Camera? Cast? Maybe chat? It turns out, yes, all of them. So you can chat with your friends whilst playing, using the inbuilt mic. No more smartphone apps. Although, I keep my Switch docked in a cupboard. So, you can also screen share, even when you're not playing the same game. It's probably streamed from your Switch at 10 frames a second. But it'll be great just to get an idea of what your friends are doing. Point them in the right direction if they need help. Free to try out and use until the 31st of March. And there's a camera. Oh joy, just like the Wii U. Another feature is GameShare, where only 1 in 4 needs the game, and can share it locally with Switch 1s, or online with Switch 2s. It kind of makes dual screen gaming a possibility. If you think about it, maybe DS, 3DS, even Wii U could come at some point. Only with select games currently, like Captain Toad, Odyssey, 3D World, Brain Academy, and starting with 51 worldwide games. Talking about old games, GameCube is coming to the expansion pack, with Wind Waker, one of my favourites, Soul Calibur, and F-Zero. There's also a new wireless GameCube controller with all the extra buttons. Hopefully the old USB adapter will still work. Now get used to having 3 types of games. The Switch 2 only games, compatible Switch 1 games. Metroid Prime 4 has both. I told you it was going to be a dual release. And Switch 2 Edition games, which are Switch 1 games with extra content, like Jamboree and Kirby, or just up-resed, like Zelda. If you already own these games, you can buy an upgrade pack, like you had to do with Virtual Console games from the Wii to the Wii U. Depending on the game, it could be worth it. A surprise announcement, for me at least, was a new prequel Hyrule Warriors game. Maybe I should have guessed after the success of Age of Calamity. Arriving for winter 2025. Whereas a game we all knew about, and a game title I called, was Mario Kart World. Some were questioning if this was 9 or 10, and I thought they'll probably go with a name rather than a number, right? And they're not going to use a system. So I was looking at the reveal thinking, what would you call this? With all the open space? World? If that's not too close to Super Mario World. But it looks like they're leaning into it, with the colours and the old style character designs. There's boats, planes and automobiles. The stunt ramps are back, now with grinding, some sort of anti-gravity, on water instead of underwater racing, a full weather system including off-road, roam anywhere, 24-player knockout races with plenty of costume changes, although that still doesn't explain this. A special direct on the 17th of April. This game is gonna be massive, and it's a launch game, along with Street Fighter 6 and Amiibos, Split Fiction, Hogwarts Legacy, Bravely Default, Yakuza, Deltarune, Civilization, that's just released, Survival Kids, Cyberpunk, Kinitsu Gambi, Puyo Puyo, Rune Factory, Nobunaga's Ambition, Fast Fusion by Shien, Ridge Racer, and of course, Fortnite. Not many new games, but they're all new to me. I was a little worried. When the Switch launched, it had all Switch games, as well as all the Wii U games. But what was the Switch 2 going to have? It seems like a lot, from day one, plus all Switch 1 games. And they're still lining things up for next year, with the exclusive From Software game, the Duskbloods. A Gothic-inspired Bloodborne-style game, possibly multiplayer. Now a game everyone thought could be a Smash reveal. Turns out it's Kirby Air Riders, but at least it's still made by Sakurai. It's just a shame he waited 20 years to release it in the same year as Mario Kart. But that's about it. Apart from my all-time favourite character, Donkey Kong is finally getting a real game. And it looks like he's very slowly getting dressed. First it was a tie, now some trousers. By the end of the century, he'll have a coat and hat. I always put my tie on before my trousers. There's a fully destructible environment, and he's got some pace to him as well. But no Diddy, just a little purple rock. However, the new look is growing on me. Not released until the 17th of July though. This is day one for me, as is Mario Kart. I'm gonna try and get a Switch 2 for launch, if it's not too difficult. I think My Nintendo is gonna slowly roll out pre-orders to members. But that's it for my Switch 2 direct views. I'd say Nintendo has added a lot of new features for gamers, with Game Chat and GameShare, but those prices. The console I'm not too worried about. I bought a Switch in 2017 and have used it at least once a week for 8 years. That's where you want the expense. You want it to work, and you want it to last. The games, however. In my area, Mario Kart is 75 quid. Donkey Kong is 67. That's like double price. You can pick up a Switch 1 game for 40, new. If you wait a little bit, 35. Even cheaper if you wait longer. I'm sure Mario Kart has a lot of playtime in it, but a single player, 40 to 50 hour game? Ultimately, it just means we're going to be buying fewer games. On the flip side, money is worth less these days, and the prices of everything except your salary are going up. We live in the bad timeline. Link went to Termina instead of facing Ganon. I might cover the Mario Kart Direct on the 17th. I'll definitely cover any Donkey Kong Direct. Anyway, thanks for listening to my random muse. Maybe that's what I should call these. Direct views, random muse.